Hello YouTubers. Something was impressed upon me today, I believe by a higher source, that it's time to reveal another one of my lifelong secrets. Ed was one of my lifelong secrets. He would have remained my lifelong secret if he had not thrown me on YouTube. But I have other lifelong secrets as well. Well, not as long, but secrets that I've kept for a long time, and I have only ever told this to maybe 3 people, and I never thought I would tell anyone again. I certainly never ever expected to ever broadcast this on YouTube, but I don't know, I just felt an impression today from, I believe, a higher source that I need to tell this story for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why, maybe. I just don't know why. But I know that by now a lot of you are probably thinking I'm a little bit off my rocker because of encounters that I've had posthumously with Edward. Well, I want to tell you a little story about Fred Gwynne. Do you remember him? He was Herman Munster on Munsters, and he played in Carter 54, and he was in several movies. My cousin Vinny, that was one of Ed's favorites. Something happened a long time ago, maybe, I don't even remember what year it was now. It had to have been in the 90s, the early 90s. I don't remember exactly what year. I suppose I could look it up. It's really irrelevant. I remember where I was living. I was living at 107 Cottonwood Court. I was sleeping in the living room on my futon couch that I had at the time. It was brown with wooden sides. And I was sleeping, and one night an angel came and woke me up in the middle of the night and said, "Get up and pray, Fred Gwynne's dying." It's like, wow. Now mind you, I've never met Fred Gwynne. I was a fan of his, but not abnormally so. I liked Car 54, I liked the Munsters. At that time I had never seen him in a movie. Now I have seen him in Pet Sematary, that's it. I liked him, I was fond of him, but it's not like, oh, Fred, nothing like that. No. But yeah, this angel woke me up in the middle of the night and told me to get up and pray for him. I don't remember exactly what time it was. Back then, after it happened, I did remember for a long time, but it's kind of become a little fuzzy over the decades. It was 1:40 to 2:40, somewhere in that time frame, 2:14. I don't exactly remember, but it was approximately at that time of night. So I got up and I prayed for him for about 20 minutes. And I remember praying, either he be healed, or if he's dying, to let him pass quickly without any more suffering. Anyhow, and then I went back to bed, and I woke up then at 7 o'clock for the day, and right away I called my best friend. And I told him what happened during the night. And after that, I blew it off, and I didn't think any more about it. And then suddenly that night at 6 o'clock, or during the 6 o'clock news, right after 6, my friend calls me back up and says, "You'll never guess what was just on the news." And then I remembered what happened, and I said, "Fred Gwynne died." He said, "Yeah." And from what I'd heard, the best I could understand was he died shortly after I prayed for him. Now, I know, like I said, some of you already think that I'm a little bit wacko, probably because of stuff with Ed. A lot of other stuff has happened to me in my life too. Well, maybe I'll tell you another story here. This just all of a sudden just came to my mind. I was in this one apartment one day where I lived at. This was 810 Laramie Street, I think was the address. There was like a big house in the front, and then there was like an addition in the back that had like my apartment on the top and a bottom apartment. It was a long, kind of a long thing. Anyhow, all of a sudden, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was a night owl back then. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and a voice literally said to me, "Quick, go look out your bathroom window." I did, and my neighbor, that very instant, my neighbor approached on the sidewalk in drag, total drag. Now my neighbor, this is the one who lived below me, he was a rough biker type guy. And all of a sudden, here he comes up in a wig, a dress, high heels, makeup. He sees me looking at him, and it's like, whoops, I got caught. And, you know, we started talking, and like, because I'm totally fine with this. I do not have a problem with this at all, you know. And we started talking, and he invited me down for tea. So I came down in the middle of the night and had tea with him. And he, you know, told me all about his secret life as a transvestite, and he showed me some of his outfits and things and blah blah. And you know, it's like we were friends then afterwards, you know, at least until we moved away. But what had happened was, the front of the house, he was moving from the apartment below me to another apartment in the main house, and you know, he dressed up in drag now and then, but he had something to do in his new apartment real quick. He thought, you know, I could just sneak up there real quick in the middle of the night, no one's going to see me, and chances are nobody would. But the voice spoke to me and said, "Go look out your window," and there he was. But, you know, you know, so stuff like that has happened to me fairly regularly throughout my life. You know, I've had these voices. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I've had the voice tell me things before, like, you know, turn down this street, and then, you know, there'll be something going on there that I needed to see, a ride, or somebody, a friend needed, you know, just little things like that. So I don't know. I don't know why I was led to say these things now. I guess maybe because all of this stuff going on with Edward, and you know, y'all already know that, I don't know, there's something unusual going on here in this house. But, you know, I do want to say that I didn't choose to be this way. I'm not sorry that I am this way, but it wasn't my choice. And these incidences choose me. I don't choose them. I don't go out looking for them. They just come at random whenever the Lord sees fit. And I believe that the voice that I hear is of the Lord, or at least of His angels, you know, giving messages on His behalf. There's certainly nothing malevolent or scary about it. It's, you know, just like, you know, my friend would tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, you know, go look out your window, or go drive down that street," or whatever, you know. So yeah, that was a story I wanted to tell, though, was the thing that happened with Fred Gwynne. But anyhow, after that happened, A&E, they showed on their station, they showed biography. Remember that TV series Biography? And they featured him one day, so I went ahead and I recorded it, just because that happened to me. And it's like, okay, apparently this person means something to me in the spirit life. So anyhow, I have that. So, but I don't know why I was led to tell the story now, except that maybe there was someone out there who needs to hear it. I don't know. I do know that if my friends at work hear this, I might be being escorted out the door. I don't know. Cause it's sort of funny because at the staff meeting, I'm a member of management at my job, and we have staff meetings every day, and they happen to be talking about this other gentleman who worked there who had paranormal experiences, and he would tell people bad things that were going to happen to him, and they came true, and they were talking about how creepy it was, and like, "Ew, get away." I don't want them thinking that about me, but I don't know. It's just something I feel I had to say. So if I became aware of anything bad happening to someone I knew, I'm not gonna, flaunt it in their face. Like, boy, I know this about you. You're gonna be dead by this time tomorrow. Whatever. No, not at all. Not at all. So I don't want anyone to think I'm scary or something, and it's bad enough that everyone's gonna think I'm a lunatic, but I'm not. So, like I said, I did not ask for any of this. I consider it a blessing. I consider it actually a privilege that for some reason I was blessed to be given this gift. I do consider it a gift, but it's not something I deliberately go out and try to enhance or pursue in any way. It just chooses me when it wants to happen. But anyhow, so I don't know, Fred and Ed are probably up in heaven right now having a good laugh over all this. So, but anyhow, it saddens me that people write sometimes and they say, well, I don't believe in the afterlife, but I know it would be so comforting if I did, and things like that. There is something out there. There's something beyond this earth. I cannot impress that upon anyone enough. Because some people might say, like with all the stuff with it, it's like, you're imagining it, or you want it so bad that you're materializing it, so to say. You're making it a reality, something. But okay, what about the thing with Fred? He didn't mean anything to me. I was sound asleep, and the angel just woke me up and said, pray for him. And I put this on my Facebook because it was just sort of interesting. This morning, I always get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I come out in the living room and I lay down here until Jimmy Pop goes to school at 6 o'clock. That way I'm right there to kiss him goodbye. Yes, I do kiss him goodbye. I know he's going to be ashamed, but secret. Anyhow, I was laying here, and all of a sudden I felt 4 gentle slaps on my thigh, like, wake up, like that, And I looked up, and like, there was absolutely nobody in the room. So I laid my head back down, and I was just laying there thinking about it. And then, a few minutes later, Jimmy Pop came out, and, he did, like, give me a tap on the thigh to wake me up, but, because he thought I was still asleep, and I wasn't asleep. I think it was Ed, woke me up a couple minutes earlier by slapping my thigh, like, wake up, don't oversleep. I put that on my Facebook, and then maybe that's all of a sudden later why I was going to work and thinking about that, and it's like, you need to tell Fred Gwynne story, Maybe that was it, I don't know, but it was definitely an impression from above. And I really don't know what else to say about it, but I hope somehow this story can be a blessing to someone else, because it was intensely personal all these years. I never, ever, ever would have imagined that I would ever tell anyone or broadcast this globally over the world. That was my extremely private secret. So, well, I guess it's not a secret anymore, so.